you in that camera. Look at you. Hello, hello, hello. And I am back once again. Thank you, everyone. I already explained to everybody on Facebook. Welcome my little partner today, Jordan. Jordan came on to work with us with Guardian Capital Security. And I said, Jordan, you know what? I haven't done a podcast in like 2 weeks and we need to do one. So let's go. So, Jordan, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Jordan Quick. I was a recent graduate of Syracuse University for design, and I've been working for Felipe part-time for maybe 2 years now, on and off.
2 years on and off. No wonder why I got a headache.
2, 3.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Yes, Jordan. But what was your major?
I was a research design major, so I specialize in doing the research behind the scenes, but also learning a lot about design and how it works and the processes when it goes with it. But I also specifically dabbled with business as my minor, so I could do.
If you want one.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I do. Gum. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I had a gum break there, everybody. Go ahead.
Where was I?
You were talking about research and stuff. That's what we're going to discuss. But go ahead. What you do. What you went to school for.
Well, so as I was saying, I went to school for research design, and we focus a lot on the process behind design. So we do like ideation stuff. We had to learn the process of all of the different steps you have to go through when designing something. But I really focused because my major allowed for you to have a kind of like a mix and match. So you did the major, but you could choose. My major required a minor, so you could choose like a focus group to have that you wanted to tailor your design to. So I focused my minor on business and a lot into UX research and like human interactive design, things like that.
I'm not going to lie. That's a lot of big words, a lot of crazy words. And for those of you that know me, no, I didn't understand a damn thing, but I was impressed. There was no question. I know personally, I used Jordan to help me. What is it that I had you do for me today?
Make contracts.
Make contracts. Yes. I had to solidify a contract and couldn't figure out how to do it in Drive. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us at Security Tales. And for those of you that will see it later on, I really appreciate you guys still honoring us to watch it. Those of you that are joining us on Facebook, thank you so much right away. So once again, today's episode, Jordan, I figured this would be great because of your young age and because you've gotten out of school. So I'm going to do why people break under pressure, Gen Z versus reality. You like that, right? You like that, right? Tell me that wasn't
good
smooth.
to know that we're not reality.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm focusing it in a different way. So I've been off for a few weeks, not because I had nothing to say, but for those of you that know me, obviously, because I've been watching how people react when pressure hits. And I tell you right now, most people don't break when things get hard. They break when things get uncomfortable. And today I've got Jordan Quick with me. And if you don't mind, she's a 23-year-old fresh out of Syracuse, New York college, correct? University, I'm sorry. And I want to see how her generation handles pressure compared to what I've seen in the real world. So once again, Jordan, thank you so much for blessing me with showing up. I know you were a little combative, and I said, let's just do it. We're going to break you. We're going to come in. We're going to have a good time.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm obligated to be here for work 3 times a week. So
oh, yeah, anyway. That's true. I'm paying her anyway. So right now she's on my clock. So it doesn't matter. So let me ask you something, Jordan.
Sure.
Here we go. Simple as hell. At 23, what does pressure look like to you?
Well, first off, I'm going to start with pressure will probably look very different to someone else my age, especially depending on how we grew up or if because I've heard that confidence is a big key, and it's something that I don't have a lot of, but I know my friend.
Sitting here right on TV right now, so that's confidence.
Yeah, but someone like my friend who's very much extroverted and has a lot of confidence, she might have different pressures than I do. But I am very prone to stress and anxiety a lot of the times. And right now, my biggest stress is me trying to find a full-time job in my field, which I found is very hard. And I've also heard from even adults in my field right now that it's very hard to find jobs, especially for people, specifically two age groups. I don't know why. My age group of just coming in and people who have over 8 years of experience who are considered overqualified. But that's going off track.
No, it actually isn't, because you just stated that one of your hard pressures right now is you spent how many years in school?
4.
4 years in school. You dedicated yourself to do well, to exceed and excel.
Mhm.
And
And then I also went to a trade high school, so I did a lot of design, so it kind of moved into it.
so you have some great background in it, an educated background in it. So now you're saying to me that a school that obviously is a top end school, because I've heard of Syracuse University, and but now you graduated, they put you out to the wolves and said go get a job, but now you have no outlet or any means to start your career in. So you're actually exceeded and excelled in school, but yet out here there's no help or anything unless you have friends or whatever that can help
Yeah,
you
it's
get
really
in.
all about connections. One thing I do like about Syracuse is I didn't realize this about until a couple months out was they have this whole website specifically for Syracuse alumni. So we're allowed to talk to people and counselors and things like that and help connect to different people. But even then, it's mostly through who they know than who we know. Because most of the people I met when I was doing my capstone, so what you did for my capstone was if you like won 6 out of 12 people were invited to go to New York City, tour a few companies, things like that. They all are in New York. I'm here. That's not much connection. Plus, they're all top dogs, and I'm guppy fish over here.
So you think that's fair though? Do you think that's fair that
Mm,
they specifically picked a certain group to get them in already instead of just grabbing the class and saying, "Hey, listen, let's design." Don't you think they should set up something in school before you leave to show you where you can apply, like set this all
they
up and
try. They
oh,
do.
so they do.
Yeah, my major's relatively new, so I'm not sure how other majors do it, but my major just made a new class where they teach you how to set up design portfolios and resumes, because apparently design resumes and portfolios are very different from other majors and other like jobs and things like that. So they taught us that and how to write cover letters and things like that, but sometimes even jobs don't ask for cover letters. But I have my portfolio now and embedded in my resume, so hopefully that helps. But the issue I think now is I've applied to, I want to say, more than 100 jobs within the span of a month, and I have not, this, let's say, like two
You got a
months
watch
ago.
on?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I had to think about it. I usually do that sometimes, but let's say like 2 months ago I applied to 100 jobs. I don't hear back from any of them.
You haven't heard.
I've heard more back from spam emails for fake job interviews than I have actual companies,
Huh.
which I think is also really stressful, especially for my age, because we're all trying to wiggle our way in there, trying to make these connections. But even I applied to IBM recently, I think in what's today? February, like late
It's
February.
April Fools.
It's not, it's April 2nd.
Oh, did I miss April Fools?
April Fools was yesterday.
Damn.
Because I made the mistake of going on Instagram and they were like, oh my God, Jensen Ackles is going to play the new Batman movie. And I was like, what? And I remembered it was April Fools.
Okay.
Sorry.
Please go ahead.
Just fair warning, don't go on social media on April Fools. All of it's a joke. Anyway, I've heard 3 fake design. The issue is they're all real companies. They're just from fake emails based on those real companies.
Okay. So you're not getting the correct emails in order to get your resume uploaded into their system.
Kind of. It's more of the fact that so a lot of the times you apply through their websites. And even then, there's no one to talk to because they don't give out phone numbers now. And so if you want to stand out, there's not really many ways to stand out. Like my mom quite literally told me the day, she's just like, walk into this business. I'm like, okay, I'll try. I haven't done it yet. But when you apply online, there's like less of an, I don't want to say intimacy, but like a relation.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because one, you don't like hand them the paper anymore, so they don't know how you are except on paper, which doesn't help you. And then there's no one you can contact except maybe the HR department. But for example, I applied to TJ Maxx for an internship and I knew someone who worked there. So I asked for them to like lead, like give me a heads through kind of thing. And I don't know what happened, but they sent me an email that I didn't receive. And because I didn't answer that email, they sent me another do not reply email that said, we have rescinded your application. And I was like, who do I reach out to talk to about this? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know who you reach out to talk to.
So Jordan, you got booted right away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
And then even through IBM, I had 2 connections. Actually, 3. 3 connections. And I still never heard back from them.
All right. So I'm going to go back to the question now.
Yeah, that's my main pressure.
So your pressure is what? I know you explained a lot of things, but I want to know what it is.
Sorry, my main pressure is trying to get started in society without having the advantages of getting the job, because life revolves around money, and I make more money here than I do at my other job.
Damn right. Did you hear that, people? More money here because Guardian Capital cares.
But even then, I pay a lot of money for loans every month, and I can barely pay that. So
here's something I was gonna say, but it seems like it might not be the right question, but I wrote down, is pressure something you run towards or avoid? It doesn't seem like you avoid it. It seems like you attack it. So you're always trying to find different means of figuring out something to move forward.
I try.
You try, but you don't give up, right?
No, I try. It depends on the situation, honestly, I think. Because depending on the situation, I try to avoid stress as much as possible, just because I know I'm susceptible to it very easily. But if it's something that I'm very passionate about, or I try to follow it up as much as I can. But like I was saying earlier, that now sometimes it's really hard to follow up on things.
No, I don't disagree with you on that. So let me ask you something. So you got a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do people your age actually want responsibility, or just say they do? So it's kind of interesting because you stated that, you're having all these difficulties, but you're taking the initiative. You're trying to figure out different avenues, different type of connections, and you're continuously striving and driving yourself to get to that place you want to be. Now, do you feel the individuals that you're surrounded with in Gen Z, I'm going to use that word, have the same strive and gain, or do they just sit back and go, when it happens, it happens?
I can't say much for like other people, but my friend group at least are all very driven people.
Okay.
Especially like one of my friends trying to go for a PhD right now into a PhD program. My other friend just, I believe, got a part-time assistant job at Fox News. So she's going to be working there for a little bit. But they also all have the confidence, and more confidence than I do. Let me just say that. But
well, it sounds like you have confidence enough.
When I'm comfortable with things, I have more confidence. But for unknown situations, it's hard.
Okay.
But I find that I'm usually surrounded by very driven people. Those are the types of people that I surround myself with.
Do you think that helps you get yourself driven?
Yes.
When you see it? So it's more of a competition, but a healthy competition?
This is an issue that I'm working on. But I found out recently that I'm more motivated when I'm surrounded by people than I am by myself.
Well, I think that works for everybody.
I know, but
self-motivation is hard for some certain people. Some people do it. I self-motivated myself. I don't count on other individuals because the people that surrounded me always failed me.
I've tried really hard to self motivate, and it's just like I've been trying to make lists for myself to do things and get to the lists, and then I forget about the lists.
So maybe you should make a list to remind you to do that list that you wrote to do.
Yeah. That's like I have a reminder every hour that says drink bitch because I have to drink 50 ounces of water a day.
Nice.
That's one of my things. But
Now I just want to give a shout out to your mom and dad. I did not tell her to say that swear word. That had nothing to do with me, and it wasn't for me. That's all I gotta say.
Hi, Mom.
So listen, what happens when things get uncomfortable for you? Not dangerous, just uncomfortable. Specifically you.
Specifically,
Do you shut down? Because it sounds like you tend to build yourself up when you're alone, and then you decide not to move forward. But when you're surrounded by individuals that motivate you to keep going, you'll go to that list and you'll motivate yourself to move forward. So what if they're not there and you get placed in this situation? Like, don't forget, when you go in for this interview and you're going to sit in front of this board and you're going to have to explain yourself, is that a situation that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, maybe dangerous, maybe like what?
I will say one thing that kills me is when I'm uncomfortable, my mouth opens too fast before my brain can catch up. So sometimes I'll talk and I'll just keep talking.
I'll validate that. Yeah. No, I hear you. I can definitely validate that.
But I'm trying to think. I usually try to get around the situation as best as possible, especially when it comes with people. I find that when it's a situation with people, I'm more comfortable with it.
Okay.
Whereas if it's a situation not with people or like paperwork or something like that, that maybe I'm not very comfortable with, or I'm not very confident that I know the system too well, I might struggle a little bit, but I do try and I do my research. But because one thing I had to do was I had to do an online interview, and I've done mock interviews. I've done mock interviews and I've done online interviews. And online interviews are weird, but I found myself more comfortable doing the mock interviews with people than I did on the recorded interviews where they're like, here's the question. You have a minute to think about it. 3, 2, 1. You're recording live now. And I was like, oh.
Maybe you should try out for that job.
What job?
The one that says that.
I did.
That you speak and you tell people what to do. You did that very well.
The what? I'm confused.
You
mean
so you just said you went on and they interviewed you and they said you have 3 seconds to interview. 3, 2. You should apply for that job. That job, you'd be
that
perfect.
was technology.
Right?
That was all like internet. That was an internet interview. I don't know how I could do that job.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. So listen, there's a generational difference here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your generation is softer than the previous ones? Like take my generation compared to yours. Do you believe your generation's much softer than mine?
I don't want to say softer. I think
what's the word?
I think it's also the difference of how we've been taught to compartmentalize or acknowledge feelings and things like that. I feel like
hold on, you got to go back with that one.
Let me.
What the hell does that mean?
No, I mean, so.
What do you mean how you were talked to?
So, for example, I'm not going to say who it is, but I've noticed that with my, like, the people that I know that are older, they have a habit of compartmentalizing a lot of their feelings most of the time.
Okay.
And a lot of the times they are like stricter or harder, but they save a lot of their like more negative emotions for themselves later on. I'm not saying it's you, but I'm saying other people that I've met in your generation have a tendency to do that.
Hold on, you got to go back a second. What's up, Tommy T? My boy says that you young people scare us, But go ahead. I want to.
You old people scare us, so don't worry.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell you just said. So we what?
Not everyone, but some. I've noticed a pattern of. The word is, I believe, compartmentalizing, where it's internally.
And what am I doing internally?
Not you specifically, but
Well,
like
my generation. What are we doing internally?
what's the word? I'm just saying, like, we have more access to like therapy and like mental health, and I feel like because now
I am my therapy.
I'm not my therapy, that's why. But
so don't you feel that weakens the individual if you go and seek? I understand you need an outlet. Like to me, I was always based on family. If there's a problem, I call my uncles.
yeah,
I call my aunts and I discuss it with that. I don't go outside my means of family. So you're saying that now there's more opportunities for your generation to seek a psychiatrist, a sociologist,
yeah.
that you would go outside of that because it's needed, which is great. I don't got anything against it. My generation, we just had friends that we would speak to. My generation, we would have family to speak to because it seemed we were much closer,
Well,
than it seems like your generation is to their family now.
oh, I wouldn't say it has to do with family. I'd say it's nowadays we're taught that emotionally outputting is great thing. You can feel sad now at work. You can do these things like in life.
So don't you feel that's a softer generation?
No, I feel like that's a more emotionally aware
So
in certain aspects. Certain aspects.
So you're saying
we are
that your generation is more emotional and more in touch with their feelings. So if they've been affected, but if they're affected in some job type of stuff, instead of people like us just holding it in and going, you know what, I got to get this job done when I get home. I'm going to hit the bag, hit the gym and get the stress off. But you feel that now you can just, if you want to be sad at work and say, well, I'm sad, I'm going to step into the sad room. Or, right? Don't you guys have a sad room and a sleep room or something like that now? I swear to God.
We have a break room with 3 mice that I have named one of them Mickey Mouse because he comes.
I have a break room?
No, DJ.
I was like, wait a minute. I don't have a break room that has mice and mices in it.
No, the other one the other day. I have a picture of him. His name's Mickey.
All right. This is where we've gone to, everyone. This is where it's going to. So, okay. So now let's move on. This one interests me, and only because obviously the company. What I've noticed is this. Why do people your age quit jobs so fast?
That's a hard question. The only thing I can, because I don't know about other people.
No, but I'm sure you have people, like especially you, because you work at another place. We'll leave nameless on air, but you work at an established store. And how long have you been at this place?
6 months.
6 months. How many people have you seen leave?
1 or 2.
Right, your age.
Oh well, managers, they've swapped not companies, but they just swapped to a different location. But one person is left, mind you, she's high school.
Okay.
So that's my generation still.
Yeah.
So she's in high school, and I feel like in high schoolers' perspective, they have a lot less responsibilities because they're in high school. So no offense to high schoolers.
No. Obviously, there is an offense because if you're going to lack on something just because you just don't feel like going.
No, it's more like it's not that they're not driven. It's the fact that, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they also, how do I say this? Because there are driven people, but it also
obviously
depends on
driven people. But I'm saying what I've noticed is, and you've noticed it being with my company, that the people that are your age and your Gen Z tend to just do what they do when they want to do it and when they feel it's necessary to be done. So they don't follow protocols, but they follow when you speak to them, and then they fail to follow it again. And it's constant staying on them. When nothing changes, you're supposed to follow it. And then on top of it, they'll quit. And then what happens after they quit? 2 months, 3 months from now, what do we see?
Another job?
No, they reapply. What is the famous word in here? Don't we know this name? Wasn't this person
Yeah,
here
but
before?
most of those people I feel like are older than me, and that's not Gen Z.
No, those people 25 and
19.
under.
Cutoff for Gen Z, I think, is 1998
So how old's that?
or 19. Someone tell me the cutoff
Who's
age.
someone? Who's someone?
Hey,
Someone.
Siri. What's the cutoff age
What?
for Gen Z?
Let's look
Never
it up.
mind.
Cutoff age for Gen Z.
Because it's my cousin's Gen Z, but my littlest cousin is not. He's Gen Alpha.
Between 1997 and
Okay,
2012.
So that's okay, 26.
Yeah. So they're 25 and under, all these people, because those are usually people that do security.
Right, 26? No, I'm 2003.
Yes.
8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 2000, 1, 2. So 30.
30.
29-ish.
So do you believe it's a lack of discipline or a lack of direction?
It could be both. Don't give me that look. I'm being honest. It could be both because I found that
See, step in on this shit.
it could be both, because if you're not given the right discipline, then you're more likely to do things that you're not supposed to or have the lack of drive. And
So when do you consider
like
yourself an adult? When you just said lack of discipline?
Well, I feel like adults can be disciplined too.
Really?
Yes.
So what
You
the hell are
have
you looking at
parents?
me?
Because
I have a parent.
you're okay. Correction.
Unless we dig up my dad.
And I'm looking at you because you're the host and I'm talking to you, and it's rude to.
No, you looked at me that look like.
Well, because you were giving me a look.
Because you think I need to be corrected?
No.
I get corrected by your mom all the time.
So does my back. But because it can be both. It can be discipline. Lack of discipline can lead to different avenues. Like, for example, if you don't discipline your kid, they're going to be swearing up and down the streets and bullying little children. Maybe
Kind of like you using the word bitch.
I used it once, and that was my one. That was my one coined term.
So should your mom and dad discipline you when you get home?
If she watches this, she can. But
oh, hold on. My boy Titus says Gen Z lacks the discipline and direction because we put the Bible back on the shelf.
that I disagree with. Because
I agree with that.
I don't, just because one of my most driven friends is not Christian or Catholic.
Yeah,
she is Muslim.
Still religion.
Yeah, but it's not the Bible.
It's a strong faith, though.
It's not the Bible.
But they follow the same.
Another friend I have who's super driven doesn't follow Christian. Like she grew up in that environment, but she's not heavily influenced by it. She doesn't follow it. While I do see people who have at least a strong belief in something, have more belief in themselves and confidence. I can't say that it's directly at least related to religion.
I'm not going to touch religion right now because that's for another episode. Because everybody
I've,
knows how I am about the Bible.
People even I've seen who are religious can be not very motivated. And I'm not saying for like specific people because.
Okay.
But
from where I sit, I see people are folding under basic responsibilities and things like that. I think people are crushing themselves. As you just stated, you have more of an emotional difference than me or our generation. You know, when we were younger, we had to come in during street lights. I see your generation as why. You know, it's out of respect for family and stuff. When you come home for dinner, you show up on time, you wash your hands. And I've noticed like so much in difference. But why do you think that, like, because it's pretty interesting. I'm not going to get on the Bible, but you had stated something about structure and discipline. So do you feel that has been taken off the plate?
Do you mean like
you
now?
Said, yeah. You have said, you know, some kids need to be disciplined in this and that. So do you feel Gen Z, some of these people that aren't as motivated and not as dedicated to take themselves out have gotten so comfortable staying where they're staying, being like, I don't have to go. I don't have to work. I'm in my mom's house. I'm in my dad's house. It doesn't matter. I'll work when I'm ready to work. Like,
I think it can
what do you
also
think? It's just,
tie to a sense of responsibility, like if you're home and or like how your home life is, right? So, for example, maybe if someone had, they could have been, I don't want to say like as ifs. For example, for me, my mom, very disciplined and strict when I was younger. I got the corner. And she says she didn't whack me with the spatula, but I was like, okay.
I think someone just got ratted out.
We love you, Mom. And don't worry, I believe anything you say. Anyway, because I was very disciplined, but I also know my dad wasn't very as harsh as my mom was. So it was kind of like mixed parenting.
So you went and hid behind your dad when your mom got mad?
On the occasions.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I like...
You what, beat your parents? Is that what you do?
No! My mom would beat me first. Just kidding. But,
Tommy's tied up with the Bible, by the way.
I saw that.
Just to let you know, he wrote the Quran is the Muslim book of rules. The Torah is the guide for Jewish people. Historically, we all lost our way when Isaac and Ishmael were sent on to procreate, one with God's blessing, one without. 100%. But we're not going to get stuck in the Bible.
I grew up Catholic, but I don't really care for it. Sorry, guys. But
no, everyone has their own decision.
I believe more in like a mother nature kind of thing.
Okay.
But anyway, where was I?
You beating your mom and dad up.
I am not beating up my parents.
Oh.
But that's what it was. Not beating up my parents. But I definitely think it has to do with almost like the relationship you have with your home. Because someone I know, like for example, they have a very hard home life and they have been disciplined, but not for the right reasons. But that never stopped her. She's going on to coach. She's doing all these different things. So, and I feel like it not only has to do with responsibility, discipline, but also like your environmental surroundings.
So it's interesting you said that about your friend. So one of my questions would be, are they another nationality?
Nope, she's Jewish.
That's another nationality.
But she's
but
not.
The family.
Her religion is Jewish.
No, nothing to do with religion. I'm saying.
No, I know, but she's
Jewish.
No,
her parents aren't Jewish, but she's Jewish.
They're. I don't know. Her nationality. Her parents are from America.
Okay.
And I believe her grandparents are also from America.
Okay.
If anything, it would be probably her great grandparents. Like my great grandparents are from Portugal or wherever they're from. But no, yeah, her religion is
okay.
But she's not. Ethnicity always kills me. That's a different talk, though. I don't want to.
All right. We're not going to get caught up with the religion, but let me ask you something. Because one thing I've noticed about Gen Z, if I'm taking a bus, which I don't, but if I'm taking a bus, I notice everyone on their phone, especially younger crowds and stuff. So we're going to talk about the social media pressure. Does social media make people weaker or stronger in your Gen Z? Like everybody I've noticed wants to be YouTube, TikTok, podcast famous.
I can't say much because I don't really like social media. The only social media I really stay on top of is Pinterest, and I only do it for ideas. But like the one thing I'd want to do, because even then I don't really check comments, so it's not like I do much. But I think social media has hindered a lot of things, especially even with not just my generation, with adults too. But you guys have had experience without it. So I feel like, for example, my generation may be a little better than Gen Alpha right now, which is the newer generation after whatever you said of the cutoff. But like my little cousins, iPad kids. Can't stand it.
They've had kids.
What? Do
Did
you not
you say
understand that?
your-
No, they're iPad kids.
Oh, iPad kids. I thought you said they had kids.
No.
I'm like, whoa, what?
I would hope not.
I was gonna be like, aren't
They're
they 8 years old?
No,
Yeah.
they're 8 and 3 and 10.
Yeah, well, you know what? It happens. Okay, so they're iPad kids, which I've noticed that. I've noticed that parents now will walk in and give their kids laptops or iPhones to keep them in restaurants, to
Yeah.
keep them occupied. Back in my day, it was a crayon and a piece of paper, and we're
Yeah.
playing tic-tac-toe with your kid. So now I've also noticed that they do it to not to associate with their children, which sucks.
Again, it's also a discipline thing. Like when I was growing up, the rule would be no electronics at the dinner table.
Okay. So one thing I've noticed about your generation also is your generation focuses more on looking successful than being disciplined. So I was talking to a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Mercedes
Okay.
E350, a 2025. Payments were over $800 and something a month.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance, I don't even know. I didn't even ask him. But closing everything, and he was making $16 an hour. Logistically, how does that work?
Depends
So-
if he did anything else with his money,
No.
but no. Is
No.
this just like a hypothetical situation, or is this
No,
like
no, it's real.
okay?
No,
I can't speak much because I don't even have a car.
no, but
yet.
I'm just saying. Do you
But-
notice people now Louis Vuittons, like instead
Oh,
of
yes.
saving their money to invest and to do other things,
The
they're
image
too busy.
I feel I have found, especially because I'm trying to think of how old a lot of influencers are now. They're probably still in my generation. Some of the older influencers are probably like end of
They're
my
not
parents'
your age.
generation.
No,
No,
they
some
are.
of them that I've seen are
Well, and if they
maybe
are
like
our age
30s.
and they're influencers, unless you're doing the right thing, you're an idiot.
You'd be surprised what people can do. But the image I feel like has become a very important thing in specifically also society, because I don't want to get into like gender norms and things like that, but secretly the image it's always been there. But I feel like my generation in this era, specifically with like Instagram and TikTok and things like that, have almost like amplified it, because like people edit their Instagram photos and things like that. And I don't know if it's because of beauty standards or if it's because, but all of that I think lowers or even gains, just depending on the person, like confidence levels.
Okay.
And I don't, because like a lot of the times with social media for my generation, I find that the better comments give people like that confidence to continue or do what but some people are really good with it, where they can take those criticism, like negative comments, and still have the confidence to keep going. But even then, there's Simon said what?
Influences, modern day. Simon says, fools that no one should follow. It all leads to grooming and sin.
That's more religion stuff, I feel like, and I'm not getting into that. Sorry. But yeah, the image has become something very important, especially I found women and men, specifically now in a generation of it's more open to be different sexualities and things like that. And that's going down a different route though. But specifically on the social media part, I think it has a negative effect, especially on how technology has given a lot of like positive influence, but at the same time, I feel like specifically social media has, especially on confidence levels, mostly taken a negative hit. Unless you're doing something you really enjoy and you don't really care for the comments, then fine, continue what you like to do. But I have noticed, especially when I was in high school, when I was younger, because I found when I'm getting older, I really don't care as much, if that makes sense. But I know that could just be me. I'm not one of those social media influencers who like takes all those photos at the beach. But I've noticed that especially on mental health, it has big connotations and specifically negative ones on how people interact with one another and see themselves specifically.
That's sad. That's sad that, your generation has to deal with so much. And, I know back in my era, when you get bullied, you try to figure out how you can get back the bully.
Oh, I bit the kid.
Yeah, well, see, you got to bite people back. Not that we promote biting, but yes, if they bully
Unless
you
they
when you're
try to
younger.
steal your phone and your stuff, then that's fine. I was mugged on
So-
my bus.
Tommy wants to know, does she know what Simon says?
I know
is?
what Simon says is. I also know Simon is a person in the Bible. I didn't see the
So,
connotations.
It wasn't about religion, he said.
I don't know.
So what is Simon's?
Simon Says is a game.
Damn right it is. It's the best game in the world.
No, Red Rover is the best game in
Oh
the
my
world.
God. So listen, are people willing to suffer to get where they want at your era?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I will say
This I'm interested in, and I want to know what you consider suffering.
suffering will be
please.
different for different people.
I just want to know what your connotation is on that.
Well, I'm not willing to be tortured for a job, but
Okay.
like depending on the person, suffering is very different. But what was the question again? I just want to make sure I got it right. Sorry.
Are people willing to suffer to get where they want? You want me to give you an example?
No, but I also want to answer this. Says, I know, but so if I didn't see the quotations, it could have also just been like Simon says regularly. Just answering that. Anyway. Well, because Simon is a person in the Bible. And if
See,
somebody
she
says,
answered that.
Simon says this happened. I didn't see the quotation.
Do I have
marks.
to repeat my question again?
No, I understand your question. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I do believe we are willing to go through it. We don't want to, but if we have to, we will, because we, at least most people, some people, at least the people like I know, because I don't know every like 8 billion people that lives on this planet.
Oh, nobody does, but
is they will be willing to suffer for something that they're working for, that they know they want. If it's something that they're not sure they want, I'm not sure if they would as much as they would if they knew if it was something that they desired like heavily. Like, let's for example, how many people quit from my job the other job that I work.
I don't know what other job you worked.
Well,
Did you
I just
quit?
meant the other company. No, I didn't quit.
Oh, the one you're still at.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've had to change my hours around a little bit just because I've found that when I get home, I can't sleep very well. But what was I saying? Sorry, I'm trying to. There's a lot of things running in my head, and I want to get it
Do you want me
straight.
to repeat the question?
No, I know what the question was.
You were leading somewhere, so you were gonna use your work
I was
from the other job.
Oh, right.
As an example.
Yeah. So
I got you. Go.
For example, a high schooler who plans to go to college but wants to make some money or something like that. Fine, they're gonna go make the money, but they can quit whenever they want. For example, someone like me, for example, one of the reasons why I was specifically staying with the company that I was working with was I really wanted to possibly work in that design part of the company.
Okay.
And that's one of the best ins that we have. So I stay with that until maybe I find something better that fits more of my goals right now or things like that. But like, for example, I wouldn't say I'm suffering. I'd just say I might be losing a little bit of sleep because my second wind by the time I've done closing is I'm awake. So I don't go to bed until like 12, 1 in the morning.
What are you? I just wanted to see I'm awake again.
I was like, what am I? There's a lot of things that I am. But it depends, I feel like, on the level of suffering that they are willing to go through for something that they are dedicated or want to do or have.
Okay. All right. So my perspective of this today, that There is a difference right there, and it's not age, it's a mindset. Pressure doesn't care how old you are, it reveals you. And if you're not ready for it, it's going to expose you. So I think in your generation, a lot of stuff is being exposed, and it starts from the education, from you being in college, and for instance, I've always stuck into my head that why don't they prepare us as children from the beginning for
Mhm.
today's society, learning how to balance a checkbook, learning how to basically take care of ourselves and do reconciliations and properly the stuff that you're walking into now, preparing yourself for job structures and everything. It's not just jumping on a wheel and saying I just graduated, I'm going
Yeah.
to jump into this career. It doesn't work that way. You need to establish yourself. Luckily for me, I did have those vet things. I had my college turn around and say, hey, listen, come here and see what the police do. Come here and see what the corrections do. Come here to see what the courts do. And then through that, numbers, you get
Yeah.
phone numbers and stuff. And it seems like they go partially there for you.
Kind
But
of.
like,
It depends on the. I feel like it definitely depends on like the education. Like Massachusetts, I think has one of the best educations in the country. Ignore that.
Is that your mom?
Nope, it's my friend that I was talking about earlier.
She on?
I'm not
She
gonna
want to
have
say
her-
something?
I'm not gonna have
She
her
want to
do
say
that.
something?
No. I won't do that to her. Her and I are actually trying to start a YouTube channel
Up,
together.
up. Tommy says.
I saw that. I started
Jordan
almost
is pretty
laughing.
cool, and she'll bite if you take her phone, unless Simon says
It's
no.
not my fault. I was mugged by two little boys. Mind you, I was in like middle school, high school.
I don't even know where that story just went to.
I was saying when they were trying to take my phone.
When you were a child, not
when
now.
I was in high school.
Okay, so
I was cornered on the bus, and they were trying to take my phone, and I bit them.
Listen, the only thing I know is there's a story of Jordan where a vagrant, a bum, went up and asked her to give her money, and she said,
I was on the school bus.
She said, I don't have any money, but I have my debit card. And he said,
no,
wait,
that only happened one time.
And she gave them the debit card, and they ran it. And they ran the debit card.
I was being followed home. I'd rather give them $1 than be stalked in my house. You gave them
your debit card to run.
It wasn't my debit card.
It was your dad's debit card.
No, it wasn't a debit card. It was a credit card, which is easily traceable.
And they swiped it.
It was not swiped. It was tapped, which I've heard is easier to get back.
Yeah,
but I know it was dumb, but I didn't want to be followed home. I didn't want to be followed home.
How gullible the Gen
I was
Z
in another country. I was being followed home.
Oh my God.
And the bus didn't go all the way to my stop, so I had to walk a couple of blocks in the middle of London.
Okay.
And I was like,
hey, give me your credit card.
Stop.
So go ahead. Finish out.
I don't even remember where I was.
So once again, this is Gen Z.
Well, I'd say I'm more scatterbrained than some people.
No. Yeah, I don't think you are. I think you're very structured, and and I'm blessing you to get the job and the career you want, because I believe anyone that has the honor of receiving you and hiring you, I think you're gonna not think. I know you'll be a very, very, very motivated, very straightforward individual that will finish the task and outperform anybody else. So I do wish you the best on that, because I think you will find it. And I just kind of wanted to end it by just saying one thing, all right? And then I'm going to give you your ending. Okay?
Sure. Am I supposed to say something specific or
No. This is just because, I was thinking of myself, because I asked you, and I know I hit you off the spur of the moment, because somebody said to me, dude, you don't even do your podcast anymore. You don't even do anything. And it's not that I don't. I've actually just been sitting back and observing everything that's going on in today's society. And it's not like Gen Z. It's just all of us as human beings on the planet. This world is getting absolutely crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the politics and the political world. I believe that everyone has the right to freedom of speech. And, and something tragically had happened. Charlie Kirk was killed, and I'm still saddened by that. And I always hear things that talk about politics and saying, well, he should have kept his mouth shut. Then what you're doing, you should keep your mouth shut. And I think right now it's just like it's affecting all of you in your era. and being miscommunicated that, you know, we're having an inner war with each other right now. And it's not within society in its own. It's just within all of us, taking it to the extreme, like politics, education. It's like I've noticed, like I've heard someone say, well, I graduated from community college. You know, you graduated from Syracuse. Yeah. But it's like, who cares? To me, when that paper's on the wall, it's still the same.
Yeah.
You know, it took me 18 years to get a bachelor's degree. And it wasn't because I couldn't get it at the time. It's just I didn't want to. I wanted to work. I wanted to build myself.
Oh, I thought you meant it took you physically 18 years of schooling to get a bachelor's. And I was like,
yes, it
I
did.
thought it was only 4 years.
No, it actually took me 18 years for me to go back to school and finish out classes and go back.
Like back to school.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you were in college for 18 years.
You could say the same. Everybody that knows me. Listen, I graduated 376 out of 373. So how does that make sense? There was only 373 students and I graduated 376.
Then
that's how dumb I am.
Then we're 376.
No, but I'm saying is, it's just, it hurts me that now when I see things and it's like, and you had brought it up, the misleading of social media and the editing and these fake things with the girl with the small waist or the guy with the big biceps, and people are like, no, that's going to be me. You know, and I just always want to instill value and say, just be yourself. And when you start to invest in yourself, you'll move. If you want something bad enough, it will happen. And believe it or not, it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen up to a year. But if you strive and drive and keep going, you're going to get it. So one of my things that I came up was most people spend their entire lives negotiating with themselves. Now, it's pretty interesting because you said that when you're surrounded by your friends, you're more motivated. So one of my things that I kind of took from it was most people spend their entire lives negotiating with themselves. Okay. Making deals with their own weaknesses just to feel comfortable for one more day. But pressure doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about your excuses, your mood, or your timing. It arrives when it wants. And when it does, it strips everything away. The image, the talk, the confidence, and leaves you face to face with who you really are. And that's the moment most people try to escape. But the few lean into it. They don't ask for relief. They don't ask for more because they understand something most never will. You don't become stronger by avoiding pressure. You become undeniable by surviving it. So when pressure finds you, don't run. Let it expose you and then rebuild yourself into something it can't break. Thank you.
Also, we're both chewing gum.
Damn right we're chewing gum. Why? Who says anything? Nobody better say chewing gum.
They said stop chewing gum.
No, he says no one bullies a good girl with a gun.
No, after that, at the bottom. He says stop chewing gum.
You know who that is, right?
No, I can't read it. I don't have my glasses.
That's Dr. Winnie Wong.
Hi, Winnie.
Dr. Winnie Wong. Not Winnie.
Sorry. Hi, Dr. Wong.
And I don't know why she's saying we're chewing gum, and you ratted us out, by the way. She doesn't know we're chewing gum.
He's chewing gum.
Yeah, rat.
He's doing it.
Gen Z, big rats, snitches. So, hey, she says hello. So listen, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And my apologies. We're going to be putting together more scripts and some stuff to talk about and stuff. And first of all, I really appreciate and Jordan, all kidding aside, I know you were very nervous in coming on, but I know because you are a talker that once you started, you would be very comfortable in just going off. I'm not going to lie, some of the things we went off the rail with, and then Tommy started throwing some stuff in there, which I appreciate. Mad love and respect to Tommy out in Texas.
Sorry, I get really distracted because I can see out of the corner of my eye when something pops up.
Yes, I've noticed. Everything she kept seeing pop up, she kept staring at. But once again, CC, Dr. Wong, Tommy, everybody that joined us, everyone that's going to join us, everybody, I'm sorry I can't see you this far from Facebook. I got to come up with another TV. That way we can answer Facebook things too. But I really do appreciate you, Jordan, being on air today and letting me, I guess, kind of understand Gen Z. A little bit.
Well, you like again. There's different spectrums of
I've
Gen
noticed.
Z. I'm part of the older. I've even noticed that there's a divide in Gen Z on how we act.
Okay.
Like the younger generation is very more. I don't know what the word is, but even I can't keep up with them anymore. They'll say a word and I'll be, I don't know what that means. But I've noticed there, even with the Gen Z, there's a divide. So I'm only one sector, and there's so many of them.
So this is Jordan's sector of Gen Z.
I don't even know what sector that is, but I'm glad Jordan, I could help at least a little bit.
What would you like to say to everyone that's been watching and everyone that will watch afterwards?
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Go ahead. Great job, George. That's from Tommy, you baby boomer.
Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you for having me again. I will say, because I don't want to put words in people's mouth. So
speak for yourself. Be who you are.
Yes, but I don't want, because
I will say that's
another thing that we're all very concerned about in Gen Z is like people's opinions of each other.
Listen, never care about what anyone has to say about you.
I really don't. Worry That's why
about
I bit a kid.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm part of the bike crew. I bit my principal in kindergarten, so don't worry about it. So, last words.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say because there's so much to say, but with the amount of time that we have, thank you for having me. This was actually kind of fun.
See, I told you would enjoy it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. God bless. God willing.
Bye, everybody.
Succeed with everything that you have. All right. Great job, Jordan. Now you want to say